Back in the building. What it do? What it do? What it do?
What's the word? What's the word? What's the word?
All righty, man. Y'all know the business. Welcome, Bars and Buckets, man. Back to you guys on another fire Thursday night here. Welcome to the hottest, dopest sports and hip hop podcast in the land. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bars and Buckets, man. Back at it one more week to talk that good stuff. Got so much to talk about. First of all, welcome. If this is your first time checking out the show, please be sure to go out there and subscribe, man. Follow us. We'll follow you back. Check out all the shows, man. We talk about a lot of dope stuff, man. A lot of dope content. We got some stuff to talk about tonight, man. But before we get in there, we want to welcome everybody, man. Be sure you go like our Facebook page, Bars and Buckets, on Instagram and YouTube as well. iHeartRadio. We doing a lot of big things out here, man. And something just getting started, all right? So, brothers, Corn, AD, what's up? Y'all good?
It's good, brother. Man, it's good, man. Today is my Friday, bro. I don't work on Fridays, so feeling good, man. So, I ain't gonna lie though. I did take a nap today, and I had to get myself back up and ready for this show. But feeling good, man. Good to be back with my boys. Appreciate the people that be checking in with us every week, man. And we get ready to rock out another good show, man.
That is. Corn, what's good, boy?
Man, I'm good. Same here, man. I'm off tomorrow. So shit, try and, relax a little bit. Also, I just woke up from a mean ass nap. And I'm feeling good, man. I had told y'all off air, man, what I'm feeling good about. So man, I feel good. Just ready, ready to do another show, ready to laugh, get drunk, do what we do.
Oh yeah. To everybody that don't know, man, I celebrated a birthday the other day, man.
Yes,
Turned 25 years old, goddamn it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, plus 12.
Right.
Goddamn it. I'm still looking good. No, man, I definitely had a good birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday,
you
brother.
know, these years is flying, man. Like
Man.
I don't even. Kids is getting older. This stuff is just different, man. Like so. You start to embrace. I mean, y'all old as hell, but I ain't to y'all yet. But I'm just saying, I'm just embracing till I get to y'all age. You know what I'm saying? But no,
I'm only a year older than you.
Right. Come on, man.
And Adrian only got you about 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, man. But no, I want to thank everybody for the birthday love, man. We got a dope show tonight. I want to kick it off. We're going to talk about the NBA free agency thing before we go into a couple trending topics. There's still a lot of moves to be made. We're still waiting on Katie and Kyrie to potentially be moved. It looks like we're going to get a spider trade as well. Donovan Mitchell is pretty much looking like he's on the way to the Lakers for a monumental. Did y'all read well, you know what? Let me back. Let me back. Let's start the show off right. All right? Everybody that's out there, when we do to start off our shows, we take free throws.
Thank you.
Not the free throws you do at the basketball court. We take shots. Those are the real free throw shots. So, fellas, what y'all drinking?
Man, I'm mellow tonight, man. I got some Cooper's Hawk nightjar. I'm mellow tonight, man. I'm on some nightjar tonight.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Oh, tripping, man.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Just saying, man.
What's up with y'all, man?
Look, after last night, bro, man, shout out to, the people that came and kicked it with us last night, too, at Smokefield Road, man. It was a vibe. We'll be back out there next Wednesday, too. I'll be on the ones and twos again, spinning. Come out and get your drinks, your food, man. And we just vibe out, man. It's a real chill atmosphere. We got some shots for bro birthday yesterday, and so that's just a side note. But because of that, I'm chilling tonight because after yesterday, it was
man.
Wow. I woke up, them Long Islands was like boop boop.
Wow, bro.
Y'all doing night jaw on me tonight? Okay.
Got night jaw on you, man.
It got
Hey,
some
but it
brown
got
liquor in it.
got something in it though, bro.
Got some brown liquor in it.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with Jamie.
See, that's an evil bastard.
Right.
That's an evil bastard.
You know what happened last week when Jamie was on the show.
Jamie have a love-hate relationship.
I'm glad that nigga came to kick it with you this week and not me. That nigga, man, don't know how to act.
All right, everybody out there, get your drinks in the air, whatever you smoking on, whatever. Free throws in the air to a dope show. Let's do it.
Let's go.
But the goal is to finish the bottle today, though.
Facts.
Okay, let's start talking about the proposed deal that I just read probably 30 minutes before the show.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Knicks are packaging or putting together a package for Donovan Mitchell, and it looks like it's going to be according to Woj.
That's Blake boy.
A monumental, record-breaking deal as far as draft picks. The New York Knicks have 8 picks to give away. According to Woj, it's going to be somewhere between 6 and 7 first-round picks and 2 or 3 players for Donovan Mitchell.
Who's running that place?
It's like an asylum, man.
Dude, this is like, man.
7 picks for Donovan Mitchell?
Not happening, bro.
Never.
Not happening.
Never.
Oh, it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. Watch tomorrow. It's gonna be announced. The trade is finalized, and it's gonna be between 6 and 7 first-round picks.
Y'all do remember
now,
you do remember
Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, he good. Don't get me wrong.
7 first-round picks.
But I'm not giving up my whole future, my entire future, for one player that will get pissed off and be in Toronto 2 years from now. And then who you bringing to play with him? I mean, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, them all the same people. They all the same. Cam Reddish and R.J. Barrett is what you want. You want them to become Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Insane.
What I'm looking at, it says, as far as making up contracts match, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, who's on the expiring contract.
They're going to send my man to Utah.
Come on.
They bet not send Pooh to Utah.
I swear to you, it's an expiring contract that'll match up with his salary. So Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish, and 7 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell.
I hope Utah.
The thirst is real out in the NBA, man.
I told you, boy, this is like desperation city around here, man. How does this even make sense?
I don't like that, but hey, whatever, it is what it is. I mean, no one else could put something better together for Donovan Mitchell, man. Like, he's about to go to basketball hell.
Unbelievable.
I don't think he's ready for like basketball purgatory. This shit is. I wouldn't wish New York Knicks on my worst enemy.
Especially not this version of the New York Knicks.
Oh yeah, this version.
I mean, for the Jazz, it's a smart deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Jazz gotta do
So
it.
that's what it's looking like. It's going to come down to the Miami Heat are trying to get into the sweepstakes by offering Tyler Hero, Duncan, and maybe 2 or 3 first-round picks. But ain't no way in hell if I'm the Jazz. Well, y'all tell me, what's a better package as far as the Jazz? If you're, Tyler Hero is a stud. Would you rather have Tyler Hero, 3, 4 first-round picks, maybe a Duncan or somebody, whatever? Or would you rather have a D Rose on an expiring contract, Cam Reddish on a rookie contract, and 7 first-round picks.
I mean, of course, you want to, hopefully they buy Derrick Rose out.
Right.
But then I think they buy Derrick Rose out. Derrick Rose is going to end up in fucking L.A.
Oh, my God.
I can see it. LeBron James has been – he never
Oh,
wanted,
what you call him?
I said LeBron James.
We got a breaking news on a goddamn show. He done called the man by his name.
He's been wanting to play with him for a while. The Cleveland thing just didn't work out for Derrick. But, this is another all-star caliber player that LeBron James wants to play with and is going to try to make sure that it happens. And AD going to be trying to get him to come out there. Yeah, man, Chi-Town love. No,
Right.
I can see the bullshit on the wall. I can see it coming. If that happens, because you got Mike Conley and Derrick Rose, you can't have both. And then Ricky Rubio's, he's in Cleveland. I'm like, but they got a starting point. So, and then now they got Patrick Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy.
Yeah. So it's like either Mike Conley or Derrick gonna have to start. And you got Pat Bev already. So you gonna let your $155 million man sit? Or I think Pooh got about 80 or 90 or something sitting. So you don't want either one of them sitting. So that means one of them will have to get bought out. It could be Mike Conley because I think his deal should be about over.
Yeah.
It could be Mike Conley, but it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen.
The Jazz are clearly rebuilding, and it's crazy because it seemed like for the last couple of years they've been in the top 4 seed, right? What seed was they last year in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they let Joe Ingles go too.
Yep.
So I'm trying to understand the purpose of the rebuild. You just got relevant. You just became relevant. Like, why would you blow up the team? I understand them two dudes didn't get along, but there was no point in trading all them other people.
Yeah.
What's good, Ship?
What up, boy? Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. Like they just throwing it. They are clearly throwing it away at this point. Yeah. They not even worried about relevancy if they're gonna do this. Like,
Yeah. You got to build fast in the Western Conference. You got to build fast. Now the Jazz blowing up this team like this, well, they ass will be the Sacramento Kings for the next 20 years.
I don't know. The Sacramento Kings, man. Look.
No, I'm saying Sacramento ain't been shit since Bobby Jackson and Chris Webber
and them and Divac with the center.
Yeah. They ain't been shit since Scott Pollard left.
Doug Christie.
Yeah.
Do the Kings make the playoffs this year?
Do they make the playoffs this year?
Maybe the play-in. Maybe the play-in.
I don't know if I can think of 8 solid teams
better than
the Kings.
Shit, I can.
They picked up a lot of good pieces.
They did. They picked up a lot of good pieces, but everybody in the West got better too.
Let me see.
Except the Lakers. They haven't got better.
Yeah.
The Lakers didn't get better?
No.
Okay.
No, they haven't gotten better. I mean, you still got questionable ass AD. You don't know. You can't say we getting 70 games out of him, 60 games out of him. Can't say that.
So you don't think the addition of Troy Brown Jr. is going to take the Lakers to over the top?
Hey man, put that ice house down, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob. Mike Brown is the coach of the
new head coach. Yeah.
Shit, he the coach, but he ain't got no personnel.
Right. Except for, he got pieces, but he don't have pieces to contend though.
Right.
You don't think so?
Hell no. Only motherfuckers the Kings
going. 2-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox.
Foxy. You got Harrison Barnes, who has a huge contract, but he's still a hooper.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Harrison Barnes ain't been shit since.
They got Malik Monk.
Yeah, that was a big.
That was a good sign. I like that.
That was a good sign.
Yeah.
They got some hoopers over there, man. They just rookie. Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
he's a hooper.
Dogging it for summer league.
Yeah, hooper.
Yeah, they just got to put it together. Mike Brown got to look and see what he got, piece it together the right way.
Big Reds, they say, "What you over here drinking, man?" I'm looking on the Facebook chat. They say you wild for that one, man. What you drinking, man?
Hey, man, look here, goddamn, you understand me? I got some. Well, I'm doing Jamie.
See,
and
you chasing it with Ice House.
But look, this is what I'm doing though. I'm switching the game up. Everybody in bars and buckets, I got to switch it up because it's my birthday, so I'm trying to show my age a little bit, right? So I got the Jamie, because everything ain't hardcore, you know what I'm saying? I got the goddamn, you understand me, lemon Moscato in this motherfucker. Then I got the Ice House. So it's gonna be a long night.
So you ain't going nowhere, is what you're saying, right?
You on some bullshit. You on some bullshit.
You ain't going nowhere tonight, is what you're saying, right?
Damn.
Oh man, no, but let's really look at the landscape. You got Golden State.
Yep.
You got Memphis.
Yep.
You got still got Phoenix in that, unless something drastic happen. You got Dallas. You got New Orleans, the Pelicans. Not saying they number 5, but I'm saying they better than the Kings. I have them better than the Kings.
They're definitely better than the Kings.
Clippers, if they healthy.
Yeah, the Clippers can be nasty.
They could be real nasty if they healthy. Who am I?
Clippers. You ain't say the Lakers.
I say, they play in at best at this point, unless unless they just really snap off. Like what you said is true though, bro. Like not Brian, but AD, he has to play at least 60 games, 60 plus. If they don't play 60 plus, they don't have a chance of trying to do anything. He got to be healthy. I don't care what nobody says. Like, he has to be healthy.
Right.
Man, I was watching, speaking of the Lakers, bro, I was watching, what is that? Vlad TV, is that what it's called? Vlad?
Yeah, Vlad TV.
Yeah, man. So Iman Shumpert was on there, man. And they was talking to him about, the guy was talking to him about Westbrook. And he was pretty much like, man, what's going on with your boy? What's going on with Russ in LA? And he the reason. And Shump was like, man, listen, man, let's be clear. Because they was like, yeah, because he making $47 million. So Shump was like, yeah, but is he getting 47 million touches? Right. So he was basically like, if you want Russ to be Russ, and the Russ we know, like, you got to give him some play at least 80% of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I thought it was funny how he broke it down, because how he broke it down was realistically who Russ is, like who we've known him to be, is how he broke it down. He's like, I don't know why people thought that it was going to be different, or why they thought that you can just put him on the wing and let him shoot and think he's going to be the same Russ, right? So he made a joke like, you want Russ to be Russ, get him the ball, let LeBron stand in the corner and shoot, and let AD run the pick and roll. Then you can get what you paid for.
Right.
So, but I thought it was an interesting take. But yeah, so the Clippers up there for sure. Bro, we just running through the teams in the West. So you got Golden State, you got Memphis, you got Phoenix, you got the Clippers, you got the Pelicans, you got Dallas. We said, we talked about Sacramento being a play-in type, but they can potentially make it. But you definitely got like in terms of solid teams on in the West. Um, I think your solid teams are set, but I think you may have some people that can sneak in based on the play-in type, if that makes sense. I think your top 6 are solid.
I mean, we haven't mentioned Minnesota.
Right.
I mean, Minnesota on paper should be within the top 6. On paper, they should be in the top 6.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sacramento Kings can definitely beat Seattle Supersonics. They should beat them. Nah, but I think OKC gonna be better than people expect too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OKC is gonna be a super sleeper. They're definitely because what play in is 7 through 10, right?
Yep.
So I could see OKC being an 8th or 9th seed. You know what I'm saying? Realistic. Like I could see them getting in there. Especially if Chet have a good year, Giddey,
Yeah.
Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
If Alexander,
Yeah.
take another step.
Yeah.
Take, another step this year. And the young guys they got, man, Dort and all them step up a little bit. I think they should be cool. I mean,
who has a brighter future? OKC, Houston, or Detroit?
Detroit, by as they say, Detroit, and it's not even close.
Yeah. I like Detroit's what they put together in their upside.
Yeah.
Even though I would say if I had to pick another winner in terms of drafting and what they did, Houston did do pretty good in the draft as well.
Yeah, they did.
Jabari Smith.
Yeah, Jabari Smith Jr.
Yeah. What's his name from Kentucky? It's on the tip of my tongue. Man, I can't think his name.
Who we talking
about? So we talk about Houston's picks. So Jabari Smith was a good draft pick. I think his last name was Washington, but he played at Kentucky last year. He's pretty Ty. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that was a good pickup. And then of course they still had a few young guns from last year's draft too. So
you didn't mention Denver in that.
Thank you. I knew I was missing somebody. Yeah.
We didn't mention Denver and we didn't mention Portland. I mean, Portland, I don't know. Dame Lillard, Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, a healthy Denver gonna be tough.
Definitely
a healthy Denver is tough.
Yeah, they got a squad. Denver got a squad. Now, to me, Denver is better than Dallas. Denver, for some reason, can't seem to just that little hump.
Yep.
They just can't seem to.
Denver's better than Dallas?
Yeah.
I would say if you look at it from top to bottom, I would have to agree with that. I mean, if you look at star power plus the team from top to bottom, Denver is better. Yeah, when healthy.
Yeah, when healthy. Just think about it. Dallas offense solely revolves around Luka Doncic. Solely. Luka grabs the rebound. Luka breaks it down. Luka shoots. If he misses, Luka grabs the rebound. Like, seriously, Luka out that motherfucker like shit, like he did it by himself. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie there with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like last year, it wasn't like Spencer Dinwiddie had like a spot. And I know he had just got there.
Right.
But it wasn't like they was like, all right, we're gonna find ways to get Spencer in here to help Luka out. Like Luka be tired as hell. By the time March come, Luka he be tired as hell because he just shot the ball 350 40,000 times in a season. So I think, you got all the people that's out in Denver, man. They got a squad. You got to think Jamal Murray wasn't even there last year.
Michael Porter Jr. wasn't playing last year.
Yeah, they got some dogs out there.
Still got Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Still got Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Still got what's the little guard I like out there? Bones Highland.
Mm-hmm. Now they got KCP.
I'm hurt. They just gave $15 million a year to.
I'm hurt about the Will Barton thing though.
Yeah,
that bothered me a lot. I like Will Barton's game.
Will gonna get to go off though.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get to go off with the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's just cut to the chase, man. Because all these off season, that's cool. But who going to the finals? Who gonna be?
Seriously,
You mean who going to the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, I can't even call it.
Conference Finals. I know KD and Kyrie ain't moved yet, but let's just say for whatever reason they stay with the Nets. For whatever reason they stay there. Because if Donovan Mitchell getting 7 goddamn first round picks, if I'm Sean Marks of the Nets, oh y'all got to give me 15 fucking first round picks.
Right.
So let's just say they stay with the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Who, according to all the moves so far, who going to the Eastern Conference Finals? Who going to the Western Conference Finals?
According to all the moves thus far. No, that's hard to call, right?
Super hard to call.
But here's what I would love to see. I'm just going, here's what I would love to see. I would love to see the Clippers and Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. And I would love to see a rematch of the sweep of this year in the finals in Brooklyn and Boston. That's what I would like to see. Because I think it would be a very those would be some really blockbuster type matchups in the finals on both sides. Mm-hmm. That people would be really intrigued to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the matchups. I like that.
So if you're gonna have me call it right now, that's my call.
Yeah.
Even though that's some bullshit that you said that, but
right. It's way too early to call that. It's way too early. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this nigga cycle through all these different liquors.
Boy ain't going nowhere tonight, boy.
That's about to be curled up fetal position.
I'm gonna try again.
What you gonna try again? Here we go. Yeah. Mr. No-Fi's kicking in this week.
Right. But I think that this year it's gonna be exciting. I think there's an even playing field in the NBA. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think they did a good job of spreading out talent other than the teams LeBron was on and the Warriors. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like them NBA finals for 4 years was getting stale. Like, come on, man. I'm tired of looking at these dudes.
Yeah.
So I think it should be exciting. I see that the Suns was telling they matched it, but I heard that he still may be in like a signing trade still.
Well, they can't. He can veto any trade this year.
Okay.
So for the first year that he can't be traded.
Okay. So yeah, because I'm like, because if DeAndre Ayton come east, I'm like, that make Indiana. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay them attention too. If he come east. But now with that being stated, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I think he probably gonna stay. Well, he can veto, so he could be in Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be in Phoenix.
I mean, I'm just surprised it took them for somebody to offer that money for them to say, "Oh, okay, well maybe he does
Right.
needs to get paid." You know.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you got other guys getting broke off. Aiden deserve his bread too. He was giving other people 150 million. This nigga grabbed 8 rebounds a game, 150 million. I'm sure he like, I scored too. I blocked shots. I want my money. So I mean, 4 years, 133 million. I'm sure he's happy with that.
Right, right. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely can make a living off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely can make a living off of that.
Right,
But switching gears, because I know
right,
we talked about this in our
right.
group chat too. The new rule changes, bro. Uh,
Yeah, man.
which makes for a very intriguing season because we know that they have been pretty used to those transition take fouls.
Right.
So just for the folks that's online with us tonight, if you haven't heard, going into this upcoming season, they're making a modification to take fouls. So basically, prior to this year, if you did a take foul, it was as long as it wasn't a clear path. You did a take foul, it was side out of bounds. You
Right.
know, that was pretty much it. So now what they're doing with the take fouls is that if you do a take foul, the offensive team now gets pretty much like a technical free throw. So they get a technical free throw, which can be shot by any player. So even if you do a take foul on a worst shooter, their
Mm-hmm.
best shooter can take the free throw. So they take the free throw and then they get possession of the ball as well.
Yeah. Which is rather whack to me, man, because it's like I get they trying to speed the game up because I know like in the playoffs, that last 3 minutes with like each team got 3 fouls to give. That
Right.
stretched the game out another 30, 45 minutes damn near. I get that. But it's also a strategy to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like now basketball is clearly out there. The way it's being played now is no strategy involved. It's
Mm-hmm.
come down, get a shooter open, and shoot a three. I don't fuck if the lane wide open. Don't go in there and try to get a layup or dunk, create some contact, shoot some free throws. Shoot a three from the fucking logo. And it's just making the game of basketball hard to watch.
Yeah.
Making it hard to watch, man. So this is gonna be an interesting season, man, just to see that in effect.
Yeah, and what that looks like because now you have to certainly make adjustments, and they've done it in the summer league too. So I've seen them, kind of use the summer league as a placebo to making
Mm-hmm.
that a full change for the league, and it's been intriguing, man. Like I've seen players literally stand in front of somebody and have to remember, like, oh, if I do this, like, right, they get that free throw plus the ball, and they like immediately like take their hand back instead of
Right.
making that foul. So it's definitely going to force some people to be a little more competitive in the transition,
Mm-hmm.
um, and probably get because of that you probably get more highlights from the transition game because they don't do the how to take fouls, or if they do take the take foul, they know what the penalty is. Because at first they were talking about 2 free throws on the ball,
That's ridiculous, man.
but they came to I guess the 1 free throw on the ball was the happy medium between everybody. But first they want to do a harsher penalty or 2. Um, Along with that, the play-in now is permanent.
Mm-hmm.
The play-in tournament is permanent, and I the play-in does add a different
Dynamic to
touch.
it.
Yeah, different dynamic to the playoff push, you know giving you the opportunity to get in, even if say those teams that are kind of injured up front, but they're making a huge push towards the end and they're trying to make the playoffs, and you have that chance, right?
Yeah. It could be
Um,
like a March Madness feel,
right,
kind of,
right,
for me.
right, right, right. And I've said this on air, off air, but I love March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I love college basketball and that tournament because literally you have to play game to game and bring your best game to game because you don't have there's no do-overs,
Right.
right? There's no do-overs. There's no, oh, well, you know, I got one more game this series. I got two more games. I can turn it around. Like, no, you got to be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
So to jump back in the chat real quick, bro said, I don't get the purpose of the rule change.
There is no purpose,
There's
Rob.
no purpose. Ain't no purpose, bro. From what I've read and what I've heard, it was to what they were saying was the take fouls were stopping the transitions. So with transitions, you're talking about highlights. With highlights, you're talking about revenue. With transition, you talk about higher scoring games, right? Because this is the way the league is now. They want games that's in the 120s and 130s instead of actually playing the game to play the game. So they want to see the scoring and the highlights more than anything. So from what I heard, that's why they put the rule in place.
Mm-hmm.
So the fouls to give are still there. Fouls to give are still a thing. So within the last 2 minutes, I think it's the last 2 minutes.
The last 2 minutes, okay, because I'm about to say,
Yeah, the
like,
last 2 minutes of the fourth, and last 2 minutes of the fourth, and then the last 2 minutes of any overtime period is where they have those fouls, kind of those take fouls, right? Where you can take that foul and force them to take it out of bounds if you have fouls to give. So,
but at that point, the fouls to give, I mean, the fouls to give are crucial during those time periods.
mm-hmm.
So really, you just took it out of the game because you bonehead foul somebody with 8 minutes left in the quarter, down 6.
Right.
Yo, I'm about to sit you down. Move your feet, play defense, defend the man.
Mm-hmm.
So they removed it from the game. It's more revenue. It's entertainment. It ain't basketball. It's entertainment now.
Yep.
And if you want your kid or you want to play competitive basketball or see competitive basketball or anything like that, the NBA is not going to be the place for that.
Mm-hmm.
Being real, like if you want to see basketball at its essence, watch the NCAA. Shit. You might want to go to the rec.
Yep.
Rec league.
The rec might be better at this point.
This shit getting out of hand, man. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like what Adam Silver was doing to the NBA. I don't.
Yeah. And he's actually the backing that he has, from the players, of course, because I mean, technically more than anybody, he's a players commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing a lot of things in benefit of them. Not so much in benefit of the game, but in benefit of him.
Right.
So, they are supportive of that piece. Additionally, though, another thing that came out of that, the NBA voted to pay
dope
24.5 million to former ABA players, as well as the agreement pays an average of 3,828 annually for each year they were in the league. So, for example, if a player with a minimum of 3 seasons receives 11,000 a year, a player with the most service of like 9 years to have 35,000. I think that's dope, man. I think that's really, especially when you talk about those particular players at that particular time and what the ABA kind of meant to basketball.
Man, yeah, the ABA was the innovators. They was the innovators at the time. You know what I'm saying? They made a way for a lot of players that wasn't in the NBA at the time. And shit, it was more exciting. And the NBA was like, shit, we trying to be we trying to be around. Let's acquire these dudes before they put us out of business. We may have the money, they has got the talent. I think Doc was over there. Iceman was over there. Like it was too much happening.
Yep. Dr.
Hey,
J.
yeah, like go. We got the money, but they got the talent. Let's
Yep.
use our money to get their talent.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's what the NBA did.
Yep. Yeah, man. So definitely shout out to the NBA for that one. Like
Right.
I definitely give you some props on that one, man. That was a big move.
Very respectable, man.
Yeah, very respectable. Show a lot about your character with that one. So we appreciate y'all for that one. Jumping back in the chat, bro. Teams use fouls to give when they're leading or behind. It depends. It's kind of
Yeah.
the strategy of the game. Like I know, let's just say, for example, it's 5 seconds left or 4 seconds left, and the team needs a 3 to tie the game. I know a team or certain coaches will take that foul and put them to the line and make them hit free throws and give them that chance to hit the 2s instead of hitting that 3 because they don't want to go into overtime, or they don't want to, give that opportunity. Right. So it kind of depends on what the scenario is. So it can go both ways though with the fouls.
That or inbounds play, 8 seconds left. You down 2. The winning team is inbounding the ball, and they come out in a certain formation. You'll take that foul to give like, nah, let's see, let's go readjust because all right, we see what they trying to do. We seeing who inbounding, we seeing who they tried to slide under the rim. We seeing that take that foul to give so we can reset our defense to be better prepared or whatever. So that's what people use the fouls to give and all that stuff, man. It was more strategic. It was to help to be like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say, Michael Finley then blew past Tracy McGrady. Somebody wrap him up. No, we got one to give because he's not getting that 2 points. Wrap him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wrap him up. Wrap him up before the gather. Like, nah, hell no. Nah. Start that over, bro. Take it out. Right. Sideline, my man.
He's doing that. Right.
Sideline, my man. So it kind of takes the strategy out of the game, man. So really, it's gonna look like high school rec basketball. Running up and down the court, shooting threes, celebrating, and partying.
All-star game for 82 games.
Yep. That's all it is.
That's what it's coming to.
Yes.
That's what it's gonna basically be. The all-star game for 82 games.
Especially if they get their way and add this damn 4-point line.
Right.
That's something they really working on, adding a 4-point line. So if they get by that time, man, I hope not, man. But it's looking real ring and Marlon and Bailey.
Right. Looking real suspect around these parts, man.
Motherfuckers gonna hide WWE entrances and shit.
I already got all these elaborate 15-second handshakes before the game.
Somebody gonna be, ooh, yeah. They gonna, man, it's gonna shit about to get out of hand, bro. Listen here, brother, before the game.
That's gonna be wild, man.
LeBron gonna be the leader of the fucking basketball NWO.
Oh man. We go flip back here. We go flip back free agency, bro.
Man, let's move on.
Let's see. Any scenarios CP3 and Bron playing together, or is it a wrap? I think it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap with that. Especially CP3, I think he likes Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think he actually genuinely liked what they got going on, man. So I don't see him leaving. I mean, he may just to be like, yeah, I'm gone. I tried with y'all, but like, bro, you've been hurt.
Right. Yeah. So that's I think that was a good while lasted type scenario. And I think a lot of that came out when he was, when he with the Clippers, he wasn't with the Clippers, he got traded to what was it, OKC? Yeah, so a lot of that came out around that time when it's like, yeah, they just need to go ahead, they'll team up next time his contract up and stuff like that. But at this point, man, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. Red's oh, go ahead, bro.
So I just seen something that Dennis Smith Jr. will be holding private workouts in Vegas on Monday in front of approximately 10 NBA teams. I didn't know he was struggling to get back in the league.
Man,
just seen it, so I was like, shit.
You know, he was that far off. I thought he was still decent.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a little surprise. That's like, hold on, let me at least put this out. I didn't know he was that far out of the loop with the league.
Right. Let's see what Reg got, man. According to Brian, Phoenix will now be aggressive in trading for KD. Owner doesn't care about the tax situation. Okay, but so what's the landscape of that though? If they're gonna do that trade, because right now, like I was telling bro, I said if Aiden signed the offer sheet with the Pacers earlier, Suns have 48 hours to match it. They already to match the offer sheet.
They matched that shit within an hour.
Yeah, so he back with Phoenix, and based off of what I know about that scenario, is he is pretty much off the market for at least this first year. You know, so it's no trading, and if they try to, he could veto the trade anyway. So so they will have to go another route in terms of who they're gonna throw in for that to happen. Ideally, I don't think that they're going to be able to conduct a trade between two teams. They're gonna have to find another team or two, maybe. Right? I know one of the trade examples that came up. I don't even know if I took a screenshot of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I seen some stuff, man. Yeah, I seen some stuff.
But it basically included Brooklyn, Phoenix. It was Bobby Marks that did that trade. Brooklyn, Phoenix. It was two other teams. Utah.
And was it the Timberwolves, something like that? It was a team like that.
Yeah. But it was weird. But it actually, I mean, looking at how he did it, actually worked out. You know. But I don't know, man. Like, it's after the Gobert trade happened, after Rudy got traded, and everything that happened in that trade, it's gonna make everything else extra hard, bro. Because I wouldn't fold. I wouldn't fold on anything except for you got to break the bank for me. What I want is what I want, based off the fact that I know, based off the fact that I know who I'm trading. If Rudy can get what he got for that, come on, man. Like you ain't finna get him for that, right? Another one came in here. Austin Rivers just signed with the T-Wolves.
Yeah, Okay. 2-year deal. 2 years. Yep.
So that's another good piece. You know, like we said, man, I mean, on paper, they look good. On paper, their roster is kind of decent. You know, they got to plug in a few more people that they, a few more spots in terms of who they traded off. But, you know, they got a decent roster on paper. They starting 5 on paper is pretty solid. You know, you got Rudy at the 5, Cat at the 4, Anthony Edwards at the 3, or the 2. Probably the 2 because what's his name probably played at 3. Vanderbilt, and then D'Lo at the point. So I mean that 5 is,
you
know,
5 straight.
5 is straight.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that's intriguing, man.
Yeah,
that's intriguing. It was something else we were talking about too. That oh yeah. So this is a little bit off topic, but kind of on topic. But we still talking about basketball. So I'm in this group on Facebook, and they have, like, you know, little basketball posters and stuff like that. one of the comments was saying, and I think I posted it in our Bars and Bucket podcast crew group too. The young ballers getting paid a lot of money but can't stay healthy. And John Stockton missed 22 games in 19 seasons. MJ played 82 games 10 times in 13 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is wrong with these players today?
You know what? Honestly, what I think some of the issues are is the training. Some of the like if you watch some of these NBA players on their Instagram and they post like they workouts and other little stuff they doing, some of the shit you be like, that don't look right on your knees. This don't look right on your back. That shit look painful. I be sitting there like, what the hell are y'all? What are y'all doing?
Right.
Some of it, and I think that attribute to a lot of the fucking injuries that's happening. Like I ain't gonna say just because they was born in the '90s, the niggas soft as hell. But I ain't gonna say they was born in the early 2000s, motherfuckers soft as hell. I don't want to go there, but it's like some of the training they doing, and then it's like, are y'all really working out every day? You can't. You know what I'm saying? We all know you might do upper body Monday, Wednesday, Friday, lower body Tuesday, Thursday. Like you mix it up, you give your muscle a break, and it's like you to tear something. It's like you putting too much stress on it, and you hooping.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think one of the moves that have become prevalent today has been hurting a lot of people. I think that Euro step has been hurting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because it's unorthodox. And even when you do it, if you really pay attention to your knees and shit, that don't feel good.
True.
It don't feel good. And if you keep doing that shit, day in, day out, basketball practice and different workouts and drills and shit, you're gonna tell some shit. That's just my personal opinion. It's not really a natural move.
Yeah. That's true, man. And I don't even, they could potentially say they play more now than back then, but that's not true either. They don't play more. Shit, back then we was on damn concrete. We playing on concrete and we staying healthy. That's not an excuse, right? So, but it's interesting, man, just because when you think about it, the last at least maybe 10 years, probably a little bit before that, but at least the last 10 years, man, when you talk about injuries, man, it's been at a ridiculously high level in terms of major. And I ain't talk about a pinky sprain, an ankle sprain, right? Stuff like that. But it's been ridiculous, bro.
I mean, like the rookie from the Pelicans blew out his
ACL
in the summer league game.
And the Bulls were actually talking about draft EJ Liddell.
Yeah. So it's like and that probably came from, what he was doing in college and then preparing for the draft, putting stress like a motherfucker on his body. And then, processed food and the American diet, all of that. Yes, you definitely right. Definitely right. Yep. Food, you know what I'm saying? Naturally, Americans don't take care of ourselves. Motherfuckers want to lose weight, they stop eating. I ain't gonna eat, making your body, messing up even more.
Right.
Yeah. I can rock with that too.
Definitely.
But it's like injuries is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand. Way out of hand. Also, I just seen this as well. A report was released last week. This is a little different. A report was released last week that revealed an LAPD sergeant broke policy by kneeling on the neck of Jackson Hayes that plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. They said Jackson Hayes shouted, "I can't breathe," and another officer used a taser on him twice, hitting him once in the chest. This was like an arrest that happened last year. So I know they've still been investigating that, but it happened to come up on my timeline or whatever. So it sounded like them guys in LA about to get in trouble for kneeling on his neck and all of that. And the same things. I can't breathe. So I want to let everybody know about that.
They out here bringing back the air. What was it, Eric Gardner? Was that who that was? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Which
Eric
is crazy. Yeah.
Eric Gardner and George Floyd.
George Floyd. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's just I don't get it, bro. I just don't get it, man. Like it's not just don't make sense, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was some of the NBA news that popped up on my timeline. So I just be wanting to share stuff in real time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Plus the licking and kicked in too. So
Already. You already know what's down there.
yeah.
So another thing that just came up with regards to free agency, man, and we talked about the KD sweepstakes. According to Chris Broussard,
That's a name I ain't heard in a minute.
Right. According to Chris Broussard, Kevin Durant does not want to play with Kyrie and wants to go to Golden State.
All right. Other than Kyrie taking a stand and not taking a vaccine and doing, having his his own principles, morals, values, his standard of how he want to live his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being real with you in the playoffs, and I hate to say it because it's like my favorite player of the era, but KD was the fucking problem. Kyrie was hooping. KD struggled, to put the ball in the basket. He's still letting smaller guards, smaller defenders prevent him from scoring. It's like he can't get around them. He try to post up. They be moving his little ass. And so for you to say you don't want to play with somebody, bro, like, I don't know. I mean, of course, we're not behind the scenes. But from what I can see, if I was Kyrie, I'd be like, man, tell this nigga get in the weight room or something. Tell this nigga eat a burger or something, man. Like,
right.
I don't, he's my favorite player this era. I love KD. But every time he matched up against somebody, a smaller defender, somebody that's going to halfway play some defense, he always, like I said, I always bring up on the show, man, like when Chris Paul was on the Clippers, it was the Clippers versus OKC in the playoffs, and Chris Paul was locking his ass up.
Yeah.
I mean, you about 8 inches taller, man, if you don't put his little ass in the basket.
Right.
And that goes to my comment of, like when Ja Morant said, he'll cook Mike and all that. Mike wasn't letting no little motherfucker, Mike wasn't letting nobody, he wasn't letting Gary Payton, none of them. He was putting their ass in the basket, bro. Putting their ass in the basket. Man, you think Patrick Ewing was going to let motherfucker like PJ Tucker stop him? He was dunking his ass and going back down court. So KD and Kyrie, I mean, whatever that experiment's over, if it's at that level, to where he's saying he don't want to play with the man, but bro, who can you play with?
Right.
KD didn't had an issue with the last couple teams he done been on.
Yeah.
So who can you play with? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job, bro. I'm gonna hoop. I'm gonna play ball. I'm taking care of my family. You motherfuckers paying me $200 million to shoot a fucking basketball. I don't give a fuck who you put out there.
Right.
I'm about to come out here, hoop, do this shit for 48 fucking minutes and go home. I don't fuck about none of that. So, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna figure out this Kyrie and Westbrook thing, kind of shipping them and moving them.
Right.
I know he ain't gonna want to play with Westbrook. So, I think KD getting to the diva style a little bit. I think he's starting to, and I denied it for a long time. Like, KD, but I think he's starting to let his talent, his fame, and all that get to his head a little bit. And I think he's losing touch with reality. Like when he was coming up and all that, I'm sure he was like, man, I just want to hoop. I just want to go to the NBA. I want to take care of my family. Give a fuck about who he played with. When I get here, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting up 4, 5 in the morning, going to shoot jump shots, talking about, yeah, I don't want to play with certain players. I want to get to the league. I want to take care of my mama. I want to take care of my family. I want to get the fuck out of Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? But now you worried about who you playing with and all that. I think sometimes the players get a little beside themselves with some of this shit. But I think the NBA just baby these niggas to a whole nother level. And I think it really starts at AAU basketball. I think, in my opinion, that's been starting to like change the landscape of basketball. How you even deal with players
Oh
and
yeah.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been starting to change the landscape of basketball. I mean, because from what I remember when AAU first started, it was really your high school coach bringing his high school team to the summer and
Yep.
keeping them together and off the street.
Yep.
Now then it morphed into now you paying $2,000 to be on this team and recruiting and all of that. And it got away from what it was, and it became what the NBA is. And like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of spiraled into what the NBA is now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely a good point, man. And speaking of that, speaking of the Ja comment, so I did get a little more context in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the interview with Taylor Rooks. I think that's her last name.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Rooks, man. And I think anybody get around Taylor, they start doing some extra stuff because she is pretty good looking. But you know, his comment was basically like, initially when the statements were coming out,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you know how social media is. They went and completely turned it from what he actually said.
Okay.
So what he was really saying was, Taylor was pretty much joking like, do you think you'll cook MJ? And he was like, yeah, I'm cooking MJ. And basically he followed it up by saying, that's because I'm not picking nobody over me.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna be over 12. So from that perspective, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I need you to understand, bro, like, this and then you had a lot of people like, oh yeah, uh if he couldn't stick with Allen Iverson, he definitely can't stick with Ja. I'm like, bro, what where y'all living from? We talking about the one crossover where he crossed him, but he still recovered? Because as far as I remember, he still recovered on that play. Like, he got crossed. I'm not gonna say he didn't, but he still recovered. But here's the thing: he also made the all first team defensive team 9 times in terms of MJ. He also was rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about cooking somebody and all of that stuff, like it's all fun and games with doing all that. It's like me and you, bro. Like the last time we went hooping together with Reg, we was out there with some younger cats, man. And I can remember us sitting there playing them, and they would get so frustrated because they would be doing all of this and doing all this movement.
It wasn't going nowhere.
It wasn't going nowhere, right? And that's my thing. It's like you can have all of the speed and athleticism that you want, but you got to make a play. And if you think that he just gonna sit there and just let you cook him, you got one thing missing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw the real footage of it, I was like, okay, I see where Ja coming from, because Ja is basically, Ja is basically doing what Ja does. Like, Ja's who he is, man. He ain't gonna never say, it don't matter who you are. He ain't gonna never say, you better than me.
I mean,
So from that,
confident.
right. So from that perspective, I got it right. From that perspective, I was like, okay, it wasn't what people was making it out to be. But I do think that certainly when we talk about eras in basketball and how things have changed, which they should, right? I mean, with anything, when technology improves, when things like that improve, then of course there are going to be changes. Are the players nowadays more athletic than the players back then? Yes, absolutely. Are they quicker, faster? Absolutely. But the one thing that I will say that they are not is smarter.
Mm-hmm.
in terms of IQ of the game. So y'all can have all of the speed, all the crossover, all the highlights you want, right? But in terms of how to play the game, how to maneuver the game, how to outthink an opponent, that you all don't have the upper hand with in this generation.
Yeah, but that's very true. But that's also because the NBA has changed the style of basketball. Just think, we talk about no fouls to give and this and that. They removing the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, all the generations is different. I mean, the younger, I just sports, hip hop. The younger generation don't respect the older generation, and vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gonna stay the same. Basketball wise, these guys are making way more
More
money than
money. Way more money.
it is what it is. I understand a person like a Charles Barkley and all the people like, man, I was, I was a dope ass player. I ain't make this amount of money. Why I ain't to make this? The avenues in which the NBA are making money, and saying that the use of the internet is what created all this shit. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Just think, when we were shorties, just think about it. When we were shorties, we didn't have. I mean, we had ESPN.
Right.
Motherfuckers didn't sit up and watch that shit.
Right.
Motherfuckers
Right.
didn't watch that shit. The closest thing we had to a Stephen A was Ahmad Rashad, and that was on Inside Stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking catching him on Channel 5 at the game doing commentary.
Right.
We didn't
Right.
have First Take and all that. We didn't have that shit.
Yeah.
So all that contributes to basketball revenue, the highlights and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see the highlights of the game, you better turn the local fucking news.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a different landscape when it comes to the revenue. I mean, motherfuckers signing $1 billion fucking TV deals.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers think that shit wasn't happening back then. So yeah, it created an influx of cash in the NBA. They overpaid a lot of people that first year. And now it's like shit, they got money. So people like shit. All right, if I want to keep my player, I'm gonna pay him this $200 million because Steph Curry got $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden got 200. All he want to get 20. So these players now expecting they fucking money. So it is what it is, man. I mean, yeah, is Charles Barkley, was he more talented than Draymond Green? Hell yeah. Was his game better than Draymond? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With Charles Barkley from motherfucking 86 destroy Draymond Green? Hell
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Without question.
I mean, shit, you got players like Antonio McDyess that get that nigga buckets. Like, you took McDyess from the Denver days
Oh yeah.
and implanted him in the NBA right now
Oh yeah.
and put Draymond on the blocks with him. He's destroying him. It wasn't even close. It's not
Mm-hmm.
even close. I mean, I get when they say the guy's more talented, they got more abilities. They also got more abilities because they can take extra steps too.
Yeah.
Defense ain't, you know what I'm saying? Defense ain't a requirement. So yeah, everybody look good when a motherfucker can't play defense.
Right. Yeah. I take the more talented statement in quotes, um, because I don't think that there's a true understanding of what that means. Right. Like being more athletic, being faster doesn't make you more talented.
Right.
Right.
Jumping
Those
higher don't make you more talented.
Yeah, those are just attributes that you use as a player to your advantage, but it doesn't make you more talented. So I think when people analyze the game and talk about the difference, and you made a good point, right? I do think there's a lot of back and forth of not, you know, the older generation not really respecting kind of what the newer generation brings to the game and vice versa.
Yeah.
The newer generation not respecting everything that the older generation has done for the game to put them in position to do what they're doing for
Yeah.
the game, right? So I do think it's a two sided thing with that from a
Mhm.
respect level, because it is true. Like, you think about Um, you think about the 80s and the 90s, you know, there are players in every era that can transcend different eras, right? But certainly in this day and age, or the way the game is structured right now, certainly being able to shoot and being able to athletically get to where you want to go is going to make you a prime player, right? Whereas back then, you kind of had a complete package. Like that's what made you a prime player, was having a complete pack. Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, right?
Still ain't found no big men in this era better than them.
Right?
Zero.
So zero, and you're not, because
in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
you can't tell me a big man that's been drafted since 2000 has been better than them.
Yeah. So I think that's, you know, I think that's perspective, man, you know, and understanding that everything has evolution, right? Everything's going to change. And we've been on the show plenty of times and said we don't agree with the way it's going, but we also respect some of the things that they are doing, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, how they're contributing to how the game is moving forward and what they're bringing, right? So I think it's a balance, man, but I think all in all, from both sides, the respect level has to be accordingly, you know. It has to be there with that. But yeah, man, I know we talked about that in the group, so I just thought it was interesting to bring that up, about the comment about Ja, but then give more perspective for those who may have just seen certain quotes pop up like we did. You know, watching the full clip and video, I see exactly, you know, where his mindset was, you know, with that. Those of you just tuning in, man, we appreciate y'all for checking in with us. Mr. No-Fi is having a moment today, so he's chimed in. Big Red just chimed in with us in the chat and just following along today for our show, man. But like always, man, we appreciate y'all for checking in with us. So speaking of him, he always does this "Would You Rather." That's one of his favorite segments of the show.
Right.
So his "Would You Rather" is, if neither dealt with injury, who's better, Grant Hill or Brandon Roy?
Man, go ahead, bro.
And this is a
good one.
This is a really good one because both of these guys, man, are extremely talented. Extremely talented. When Brandon Roy, when healthy, I can remember Kobe Bean Bryant talking about just how efficient he was as a player, and how difficult he was to
guard.
You know, to guard.
So
But
man had no holes in his game.
Yeah. But I also look at Grant Hill, who I pretty much I know him and I watched him from college days up until he made his way. He was a guy that could really, you know, impact the game in multiple areas. You know, he was literally a triple threat every night. Right? That he was a threat every night to get a triple double. Like that's just who he was. That's how he played the game. This is tough for me, man, because I know for you, your favorite, you know, your favorite player is Scotty, right? And for me, you know, my 1A and 1B are pretty much prototypes of each other. It was MJ and Kobe. You know, and I tend to lean to his perspective in terms of when he says something about a player, just because of how he was as a player, right? He was extremely methodical, man, extremely skilled, wanted to pretty much, you know, take you out, man. So based off, and really, I mean, you can't go wrong on this one.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna lean Brandon Roy, if
Mhm.
healthy, is going to have who's going to have the better career.
Right. All right, let me get my little spiel. All right. Grant Hill, I definitely liked this game when I was younger. I liked this game. I even had his shoes. But at that time, as a kid playing basketball,
Mm-hmm.
I never was like, I want to do something like Grant Hill. I was in college when Brandon Roy came.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to be in the gym hooping and all that. And I used to watch Brandon Roy game. There's so much that I attempted to take from Brandon Roy.
Yep.
One thing I like would watch him and be like, all right, when we in open gym, I'm throwing that fucking pass. I'm throwing that pass. I'm doing this. Watching him helped me kind of like in my game. I mean, yeah, I wasn't no NBA player. I wasn't none of that. But it inspired me to be better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I know a lot of people gonna be mad as hell that I'm leaning toward Brandon Roy. I respect Grant Hill game so much because he was nice as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Grant was a dog. I never forget. I'm like, please don't play that game. Please don't play. Came and played anyway. Fuck that ankle up even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they both did the same thing.
Yep.
Recommended to sit the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
And they played anyway. That's a true passion of the game of basketball, man. But it led to their NBA demise.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Brandon Roy is now a high school basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's coaching high school basketball. And I'm sure he got other things going on too, man. But Brandon Roy, and I watched him in Washington. I didn't really watch. I mean, I was a kid, so I can't say that I really watched Grant Hill.
Right.
I was young. I wasn't in control of the TV in my house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I know I seen it. My pops were watching and all that. But my understanding of the game wasn't where it was, where it was when I was watching Brandon Roy to when I was watching Grant Hill. I was young, Grant Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
That boy Brandon Roy was a dog.
Yeah.
A dog, bro.
Ridiculous.
And he was at his era, like when he was in the league, he was my favorite player. He was my favorite player. 05, 06,
Yeah.
07. Brandon Roy was my favorite player, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. Shout out to University of Washington, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Grant Hill couldn't shoot till he got to Phoenix. Right.
Yeah,
right.
He did get he definitely developed a jumper between that Phoenix and Clipper era.
Yeah.
I was happy to see him go out on a high note. I mean, he didn't win a ring or anything, but he showcased his ability. And I know he attributed Phoenix to help save his career.
Right.
As far as like they trainers. I remember they talked about how Shaq came down there and they kept him in shape and all that. So I was happy to see Grant Hill live out his dream because I know that shit had to hurt. Like, yeah, you had the money, but the fact that you couldn't show like I'm the baddest motherfucker out here, and you had to sit down. Because just think if him and Tracy McGrady would have played together in 01.
01, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would have got that opportunity. Or even because before that, didn't he get traded to Atlanta and just never suited up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because before that, it was supposed to be him and Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Yep.
Down in Atlanta.
Yep.
He just never got the opportunity because he was out. You know what I'm saying? With the screws in his ankle and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been nasty.
Yeah.
That would have been nasty as hell. So I'm happy he got a chance to showcase his talent before he went out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to both of them, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He did.
Yeah, he damn near. Yeah.
Yes. And it was amazing that the NBA kept him around the game of basketball because after a while, I'm supposed to be like, man, get him out of here.
Right. Yeah, man. That was a good one, Reg. That was a good one, bro. Shout out to you for that one. Going back in the chat, another random joint from Rob. Do you think the Timberwolves will have spacing issues like when Embiid and Al Horford was playing together, or when Dwight and Embiid played together. So here's the I never really understood why they had issues when Embiid and Horford played,
Yeah,
because both of them can literally spread the floor, even though Embiid need to take his ass down there and get on the block. But both of them can spread the floor, so it really shouldn't have been spacing issues. Now, Dwight Howard and Embiid, I can that one, you know,
they still shouldn't have.
they still shouldn't have had issues because Dwight ain't really shooting no threes.
Yeah, he ain't shooting threes. You can't put him in no pick and pop situation. Get your ass on the blocks or get ready to put this shit back. If I miss, you better dunk this motherfucker back.
Right.
They shouldn't have had no issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In them situations, like you're saying, they should be able to figure that out. They should.
Yeah. So, Cat is going to be the guy that plays the perimeter. Right. He going to play the perimeter, do all the crazy stuff. Yeah. Rudy just needs to be a floater, bro. Like, Rudy going to have to play around the rim, block to block, potentially get into some pick and roll action. But he's not really a focal point of the offense, so you don't really have to worry about him too much.
Right.
So that shouldn't impact the spacing of the floor. But hell, you pay. I mean, you literally forced your team for him, so you better figure it out.
Yeah. Better figure that shit out.
Yeah,
better, because they threw it all the way. They threw it all the way for him.
They ain't even care. They ain't even care, bro. So yeah, they gonna have to figure it out, but they should be fine. I mean, they have enough other people, other people who can stretch the floor, space the floor out. But it's gonna be on the coach too, man. Because I know we talked about this in the playoffs, man. He's terrible at making the adjustments and stopping the run. Man, what game was that where they were up like 25 points? Memphis came back all the way, and he never called a timeout at no point.
That was like in one of the first two.
That was one of the first 2 or 3 games, right?
Yeah, man. I was like, what the hell are y'all doing? I mean, he never called a timeout, bro. Like, you're not gonna call a timeout. All right. Yeah. You're down 5 now. You're not gonna call a timeout. And where was the IQ of the players? This was when we get back to the IQ.
Right. Like
where was Big Cat? Like, hold on, man. What the fuck, nigga? You not gonna call timeout? Like, hey, man, come here, dude.
Look, you just got to be mad at me, coach.
I would have had to get A-Rod. Like, hey, man, get dude out of here. Hey, for a lot of people that don't know, A-Rod is one of the owners of the Timberwolves.
Right. I'm like, man, look, like, you have to be mad at me, coach. We getting ran right now.
Like, bust. Timeout.
They on a 15-0 run.
Yeah.
Like, what we waiting on?
Yeah, they got their ass ran through like a yellow light.
And we know people run those all the time. Oh man, that's wild, man. That's wild, bro. You're not gonna believe this that I just came across. The largest single season salary in NBA history.
Ain't that Joker?
In 2028, Joker is projected to have a $61 million. That's gonna be his year for the year, 61 mil. But he's not the largest, bro.
Who the fuck is the largest?
In 2027, Dame Lillard is going to make $64 million.
Hey, more power to them, man.
Damn.
60.
In one season, in 1 year, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Ooh.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no
way, me
boy.
That type of money, I ain't never looking back.
Ever. You hear me? You hear me?
$1 million
in a year, bro.
Shout out to them, man.
Man, this is unbelievable, man. And I get it. With revenue, of course, there's going to be an increase in pay, right? The salary cap rises, endorsements keep coming. The more money they get, the more money they can spit out. But dog, bro, in 1 year, $64 million. That's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable contracts. But that just shows, that just shows how much revenue the league is making, man. We talk a lot. Somebody I follow on Facebook, man, made a comment, joked about this past weekend was the All-Star game for the WNBA, right? And he was like, man, he's like, he said, all y'all that's talking about the women's game making more money or similar money than the players getting contracts. How come y'all ain't tell nobody it was an All-Star game this weekend? Right?
Hey, I seen that.
Yeah.
I definitely seen that.
Yeah.
Now, my whole thing with that is the WNBA's marketing team need to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had a whole All-Star game. I think WNBA as a whole is failing on the marketing side. Revenue and all of that is based off of the marketing of the game. They don't market the game well. Just think about it. The Chicago Sky won the motherfucking WNBA finals this past year. And we didn't, even in the city of Chicago, we didn't know they fucking was having a parade.
That's facts.
We didn't know they was having a parade. We didn't know when it was. Nobody said nothing. Yeah. Nothing. As Bernie Mac would say, nothing. Nothing. The officer said nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nobody said a word.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you expect to generate revenue when you don't put it in people's faces?
Mm-hmm.
They still treat the WNBA like they still like under the we don't care who got now, we got next. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care who got next, we got now. That campaign from 95. They still like under the Lisa Leslie Act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Tina Thompson Act. Bro, the game is bigger now.
Yep.
I mean, they should be pumping money into marketing. They don't. I know, like, I seen some people talking about the WNBA All-Star game when I forgot the player's name. She got a dunk. And he was like, oh, yeah, see. And they rattled in.
Sylvia Fowles.
There it is. Mm-hmm. She got a dunk, it rattled in. They like, yeah, they want to talk about paying them millions of dollars for that. Bro, she dunked the ball. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We've seen plenty of players rattle in some shit in the NBA. That's something a lot of women not doing is dunking the ball. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that she can get up there and do it, the niggas probably talking shit about it, can't touch the net. But the WNBA is failing those women when it comes to marketing the game.
Absolutely.
Marketing the game. That's it. That's all.
Absolutely.
The game should be a lot bigger. I mean, you drafted. I mean, the fact, like, you got players like Maya Moore. Maya Moore is probably one of the best female college basketball players I've ever seen in my life.
Ever. You hear me? Breanna Stewart.
Yeah. I mean, like, Sue Bird is like the female fucking Steve Nash.
Yep. Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, like, they had some Don Staley. Like, they had so many fucking hoopers. Fuck female hoopers. Hoopers. Right, they got hoopers. Baskets. Yeah. They got and they never marketed the game. Yep. They never did.
Yeah. Shout
out to my future wife, Tia Cooper, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, they hooping.
Yeah.
I mean, no Jordan type player. That's a one in a lifetime type player, bro.
Yeah, that's hard to.
That's hard
to duplicate.
You don't
right?
get two Jordans. You don't. I mean, Kobe's like, and Kobe was the closest thing because he patterned his whole fucking game after him. Mm-hmm. But that ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, the NBA ain't seen another Hakeem Olajuwon. So damn, the WNBA ain't gonna see that.
Yeah. And here's the crazy part, man. They do have stars though. Like,
they got plenty of stars.
Like I've watched them, and they do have some hoopers. Like they got
Elena Deladon.
Yep, Elena Deladon, Kelsey Plum, forget my girl from she in New York. I can't think of her name off the top of my head right now, but she a hooper, right? They got hoopers, but to your point, Cuzzo, and to Corn's point, man, they have to market this game for the women. Like that, hands down, that's where the difference is. They are not even trying to, they have to, and there are players that, to your point, there you go, appreciate you, Hooper, thank you. Um, there are players like this one that they do need to market for the league, like because there are young girls who follow these players and look up to them and want to be like them. Like you gotta push that, like I know coming up in August, I think it's like August 9th, Corn, they got like Divine Nine night at the Sky Game,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I mean, little things like that increases the awareness of the league and the women's league. Here's a probably a hot button topic as a coach, right? As a coach, and I've been fortunate enough to coach both uh, boys and girls, but on the boys side of it, I've been fortunate enough to have players who um, are very self-reflective, players who understand or want to understand and respect the game for what it is, and they listen.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: this hot button is gonna get some people, and there's gonna be some people that's gonna hit me in my inbox after this. I'd much rather coach girls than boys,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell you why. Because of the way social media is, because of the way things have changed and transitioned, they have this assumption, and I've talked about this previously before, um, where they think something's going to be given to them instead of working for it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So um, they shoot a shot that they never practiced, and they get mad when I pull you out and sit you down because you never practiced it. I've never seen you take that shot at practice.
Right.
So you get into the game and you pull from the red line. That's a problem for me. I don't care who you
Mm-hmm.
are, right? What I will say about girls, and take it for what you want about, the emotional side and the feelings and the crying, whatever the case may be. What I've known about girls is girls are going to do exactly what you say, how you teach it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I'm running motion, and I'd say first pass, cut off the first pass, ball screen from the opposite block, blah blah blah, and I say run the play, they gonna run it just like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't gonna be no question, and ain't gonna be nothing. So for me, they are much more manageable because they have a real intent and semblance to learn the game, learn the intel, follow leadership and direction. Whereas the boys are a little bit harder, depending on who the kid is, of course, because upbringing and stuff like that plays a role in that too. But they're a little bit harder to digest things, right? Because they want to get to the highlights. They want to get to the guts and oh
Mm-hmm.
man, I know how to dunk now, coach. Yeah, but you
Right.
still don't know how to shoot. That should have been the first thing you know how to do. Shoot some free throws because they free.
Right.
But you talking about a dunk, right? So
Right.
the fundamental side of the game, women have that top tier
Mm-hmm.
more than the dudes do.
Yep. Yeah.
And I know somebody gonna hate me for it, but I don't care
Right.
because most of the ones that probably hate me have never coached girls
Mm-hmm.
or coached women, so they don't understand both sides of the game. But
Right.
if you understand both sides, you understand that fundamentals are the key to a successful
Mm-hmm.
player.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they are more adaptive to fundamentals of the game, which is why people are like, oh, WNBA is boring. It's not boring. Like
It's
they,
it's it's for basketball
it's for
purists.
basketball. Period.
It's for basketball purists. Like
Yeah.
you gonna see the game of basketball being played the way I know we grew up watching it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I like if I catch a Sky game, I'm like, shit, I don't watch this. I'll sit there and watch the game. learn the players. Like I used to watch this guy for Cheyenne Parker. Shout out to Cheyenne Parker for being
Yes, sir.
fine and motherfucker.
Mhm.
But she can hoop. She can hoop. I was upset when they sent her to the Dream. Like, why y'all let her go to the Atlanta Dream? Why she can stay here? I was hoping to bump into her at Pete's. But yeah, man. I mean, the WNBA got to do better, man, with marketing.
Yeah.
I don't know who's running it.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're not doing a well enough job to garner those $100 million contracts.
True.
I mean, shit. You got players that's making 60,000, 70,000.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with making 60, 70,000. There's nothing wrong with that because the average American ain't even making 60, 70,000.
Exactly.
So, but in comparison to a 11th man on the Pelicans bench, they're not even getting that. Your star player not getting that. I think the highest paid WNBA player is Candace Parker.
Yeah, probably. Let me see.
I think she's probably at $1 million. Or maybe even less, but she probably like 800, 900,000. And then, she
Crazy.
TV, she got her endorsements, she got her own stuff outside of it. But you don't even see the WNBA players. Like, what are y'all management doing? You don't even see them doing different things. You don't see them. You got all these players going overseas to play. That's how Brittany Griner,
because they got to make up that. They got to make that money up.
Got in her situation. I forgot it's a lady that I forgot what WNBA team she plays for, but in her off season, she's one of the assistant coaches of the Wizards.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they got second jobs. They got a second job. Most was working at the movie theater and shit. Like,
right. Which is sad, but
it's sad, but you know what I'm saying?
How do you pay them that type of money when you ain't got that revenue?
You ain't no revenue. Like, what is going on? Like, for example, in the city of Chicago, what is making people go to the Sky game? They got talent. They got talent. They just built them a brand new fucking stadium right there in the McCormick.
Right there. Right.
But even with them building that new stadium and them playing in it, when I seen the marketing for it, it was more for DePaul University than it was for the Chicago Sky.
Yep.
So they're not polarizing they're not pulling people in. They're not polarizing fans to come. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
The to your point, another chick who's a straight dog. To your point, the highest paid player in the WNBA is Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. Okay. She makes on average $232,000 a season.
Dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to see them get. I want them to get their money. I want them to get their recognition. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think with that, it would help girls basketball. It would help with, girls. I mean, yeah, every day we got girls going to college playing ball and all that. But, I mean, it would be dope to see some of the talent, like even at our school. The school I work at, we got some talented girls that play basketball. You know what I'm saying? And it would be cool to see some of them in the WNBA instead of going overseas to play ball.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be dope, man.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, man, it's just apple to oranges right now. And I hate to say it, and I don't ever predict a time where they will have semblance in terms of being on the same level.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen because the people in control of that league ain't even outside looking in, ain't attempting to do nothing big. Go, you know what I'm saying? Go hard or go home, and their ass is going home.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even just think about it. Even when the WNBA playoffs start, you don't even know that shit until you watching the news. They be like, Candace Parker scored 32 points in a WNBA playoff game. You're like, oh damn, playoffs started.
Right, right,
They
right,
don't
right.
they don't promote it. Just think about it. When have you ever seen, like when they promote the NBA finals and all these different commercials and shit for the game?
Mm-hmm.
You know the Bucks is playing the fucking Warriors. You
Yep.
know this shit is happening.
Yep.
They will have a whole fucking Candace Parker will go for 90 and you won't hear about this shit for 2 weeks. You'll be like, yo,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
market the game.
Yeah. The
Market the
PR
game.
PR
Yeah.
side is
PR, marketing,
marketing lacking.
all
Like,
lacking, man. To
uh,
fire the whole department, man. I'm sure they probably make more than the fucking WNBA players. And they not doing their job.
right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I forgot what Sue Bird does. And she paid. But I forgot
Shit, I
Sue
think
Bird.
Sue coaching too.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me get this quick.
Yeah, Sue coaching too. And then, I looked at the roster spots that they have. So they have 12. I think there are 12 teams in the league, WNBA. There are 12 teams and each team carries 12 players. So
12 teams?
12 teams, bro.
Bro, they got to develop since. I mean, they lost some teams.
Yeah.
They lost some teams. Let me see, man. Let me look this up real
Yeah.
quick.
12 teams, 12. So what 144?
Sure, because they lost a team in Detroit that became Tulsa,
Mm-hmm.
and then Tulsa, Skylar Diggins. Hey, baby.
Oh man. Mm-mm.
Because the Shock became the Dallas Wings, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, Detroit lost a team, then Dallas, and then Tulsa lost their team. You know what I'm saying? They moved people around. Now Dallas got a squad, but Detroit lacking a team. Tulsa, Oklahoma lacking a team.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, shoot, even with that, you talking about, I mean, NBA, what are we, 30 teams?
Mm-hmm.
15 per roster?
Right.
Right. So even with that, I mean, your chances are ridiculously slim to get to that point in your career of making it to the WNBA, which is why a lot of the women play
Right.
professionally overseas and stuff.
Right. Because Charlotte lost their team. They don't have a Sting no more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it's a lot of lost ass teams, man. Like I'm looking at it now. You got the Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun, Indiana Fever, New York Liberty, Washington Mystics, Dallas Wings, the Las Vegas Aces, which is a newer team,
Mm-hmm.
the Sparks in LA,
Yep.
the Minnesota Lynx, Phoenix Mercury, and Seattle Storm. So even with that, you still got a small ass amount of players, and y'all not marketing them. There's no way since in what we'll just say 4 years, the WNBA has been around 30 years, right?
Yep.
And they still got 12 teams. Like, how don't y'all have at least 20?
Right. Right.
At least 20 teams. Because a lot of the owners of these NBA teams got a stake in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
So how don't y'all have this going on? Like this should be a full fledged league.
Yep.
This should be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. They're gonna have to figure that out, but it don't look good.
Definitely a struggle, man. But yeah, man.
Las Vegas Aces. Hold on. Because according to this looked like this used to be another team.
The Aces come.
Oh, they was the Utah Stars.
There you go. Yep.
So they were originally the San Antonio Stars. And then they became
Mm-hmm. The
Utah
Utah
Stars. And
Stars,
now
right?
they're the Las Vegas Aces.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, man. WNBA. Of course, I had to just, since we were talking about certain things, want to shout them out. Um, Definitely needs to something got to give. They need to do more for that game, more for the marketability of the WNBA because they do have some very very deserving women um,
Mm-hmm.
who are absolute ballers, man, and showcase their skills and get them to a level of where they can really fend for themselves and not have to be doing 3 4 different jobs to make ends meet type. Um, but man, all in all, like I say, as always, man, we appreciate y'all kicking it with us tonight. Um, Definitely one of those nights where we kind of just broke some news to you, talked about the NBA rule changes, a couple of different things that popped in our timeline as the show was going on. Big Reg was off tonight. Mr. Wi-Fi couldn't connect, couldn't do his thing right. So he'll catch up with us next week. But as always, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. Click, share, subscribe to Bars and Buckets on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also check us out on iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, uh, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little bit of everywhere, man, and we do that because we really want this to take off, man. And part of this taking off is you all chiming in with us and being active participants in our show every week, man. So we certainly couldn't do it without you, and we gonna always shout you out because we know it's bigger than bars and buckets, bigger than the crew. We want this to be a thing that makes its way to a much bigger market because we do think that we have something that other people really don't have. So certainly appreciate y'all checking in, man. Bro, go ahead and let them know where they can find you at.
Cornell Shelby II on Facebook, um, on IG, gold underscore mind underscore CEO 84. Man, hit me up, man. We can talk whatever, man. Sports, music, I'm with it.
Yes, sir. So once again, for me on a personal level, you can find me on Facebook at Adrian Dury, Instagram at Urban Gentleman 85, TikTok at Principal AD. Also, our TikTok for the Bars and Buckets podcast crew is our TikTok page. You could join that. We have little short clips that we add from our shows on there. Our email for the crew is bars, letter N, buckets, 2022 at gmail.com. Again, that's bars, the letter N, buckets, 2022 at gmail.com. Definitely shoot us topics. If you want to join the show one week and come live with us, hit us up, get you on so you could be a part of this conversation. Now, I'm going to let you know if you do this, you got to make sure you don't come empty handed. Because if you come empty handed, you can't come on the show, right? So make sure you come prepared and ready to kick it with us, man. And finally and lastly, again, make sure you click, share, and subscribe to Bars and Buckets on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And with that being said, bro, it was yet another wonderful night. And we're going to go ahead and sign off. Peace and love to y'all. Stay safe this weekend. Enjoy yourselves, but most importantly, man, make sure you all stay safe. We'll holler at y'all next week.
All right, people.